Well, the Church Music Association was set up in 1969 by Cardinal Conway as a response to the Constitution on Sacred Liturgy, Sacrosanctum Concilium. And since then, 42 years later, the association has been working to promote music in the liturgy. So every year we have a church music summer school. People come from all over the country to learn new music, to experience it in its natural setting in the liturgy, and then to go back to their own parishes inspired and enthused to use that music where it was intended to be used in the liturgy. This year's summer school is obviously a preparation for the introduction of the new third edition of the Roman Missal, the new translation. And so our theme is taking the phrase, the mystery of faith, which will introduce the acclamations at the consecration in the new translation. In the light of this, obviously, the Church Music Association, the Advisory Committee on Church Music, and the National Centre for Liturgy have produced a new collection, 4 new masses by Irish composers, Liam Lawton, Ephraim Feely, Bernard Sexton, and Columba McCann, and 3 well-established and loved settings that have been adapted to the new text. Fintan O'Carroll's Mass of the Immaculate Conception, Saoirse Bodley's Mass of Peace, and the Mass that we know here in Ireland as the Mass of Our Lady of Lourdes. We're delighted that this year Cardinal Brady is coming to officially open the summer school and to launch this collection of masses, which is called Sing the Mass. A very obvious title perhaps, but we're hoping that it will enable people to actually sing the music that grows organically from the Mass. The Kyrie, the Gloria, the Holy Holy, the acclamations, the Lamb of God, rather than singing at Mass with hymns, singing the Mass parts themselves. That's the intention of this new collection. So for our summer school, we have a lot of guest speakers. Our director this year is Orla Barry, well-known Dublin-based conductor and has been guest director on 3 previous occasions. We're delighted to welcome her back. We have Liam Lawton coming this year with an American composer, Chris De Silva. We have the internationally known Monica Brown looking after music for children and schools. And we have many Irish tutors, John O'Keefe, Giovanna Feely, David Connolly on the organ, various other people involved in giving tutorials each day of the summer school. The Church Music Summer School is aimed at anybody involved in liturgical music, whether it be at schools level or generally more so at parish level. And in recent years, our attendance has ranged from early teens to probably late 80s, which is fantastic. It's like a typical parish community. Anyone who's interested or involved is more than welcome to come. While most people come for the week, we would have what we call open days on the 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday of the week, when people just come for a day. And sometimes we could have up to 150 people coming in just for the day, again to charge the batteries, to be renewed, to go home with new material. So it's really a cross-section of people from all over the country. Generally speaking, we would probably have between 150 and 200 people resident for the week here based on the campus in Maynooth. And on top of that, as I say, each day visitors, we could have between 100 and 150 extra. So you could have 300 to 400 people gathered to celebrate the Eucharist on any of the days of the conference. I think as a country we've certainly produced some very fine musicians and text writers, composers, artists, people who are offering their talents for the liturgy. Obviously our focus is on church music. I think Irish people when they come to church tend to be a little timid, although that has changed. We're only coming up to 50 years since the Liturgy Constitution brought us into the vernacular and the idea of singing and participating. And for many people, it's still a little bit of a challenge. But I think a lot has been achieved. And hopefully this year, this new translation of the Missal, this new collection of masses, Sing the Mass, will hopefully re-energise and help us to look again at how we celebrate the liturgy, what it is that we're actually celebrating and how we can use those gifts and talents to offer the best that we have and are to the Lord in sung prayer. Our Church Music Summer School this year runs from the 4th to the 8th of July, based here at St Patrick's College in Maynooth. Our contact details are as follows. The website is www.irishchurchmusicassociation.com, or you can contact our registrar, who is Tomás Kenny. And Tomás's email is tomaskenny1, and that's TOMASKENNY1, the figure, at eircom.net, or you can contact him through the National Centre for Liturgy, St Patrick's College, Maynooth, County Kildare.